All right, welcome to day 11. I don't know, I kind of feel like that music was a little vibey, but I'm excited to, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I'm excited to just spend some time because since I have been here listening to the hearings the last couple of days, I haven't gotten as much material, kind of digested. So I think that the time was well spent, absolutely. At the same time, I am feeling that yearning to finish up the first chapter of the book. So, with that being said, I'm not sure how long I'm going to go for today. Obviously, at least an hour, but I've been up really late the last couple of days and then up early. So, I don't know. I'm just going to see how I feel. I'm going to at least try to do, 30 minutes, but I kind of get the feeling that if I can hit a stride, then I really would like to just finish this tonight. And I don't see why I shouldn't. But it will be interesting because there are a lot of review questions at the end. So that's where I think I might actually digest some time. So, yeah. And then they have some further research topics too. So I have to figure out how I want to incorporate those into, my learning. But either way, we should be good. So I'm excited, yeah, because I don't know. I spend all day waiting to like get to work on my stuff. As far as like, I mean everything I work on for the most part is still my own projects right now. Even if it is for other organizations, it's like a lot of things that I am working on now that are, I came up with the ideas for and things like that. So I feel like that's really nice, but I care a lot about my technical growth right now. So baby boy is still up. Well, no, I shouldn't say still. He actually went to sleep a few hours ago, but I don't know. He's on the sleep regression right now. So um, he'll probably go to sleep soon, honestly. He just woke up and so then he's like, "Oh wait." It's kind of weird. I don't know. If you don't have a kid or you never had a baby, it's like when they get to phases where they're learning new stuff, it can be hard for them to sleep, right? Like when he was small, he couldn't roll over or anything and he was swaddled. If he would wake up, eventually he has nothing else to do but to fall back to sleep. But when they get to the age where they can actually start moving around and doing stuff, like now that he can stand up and walk around, and he remembered like, oh yeah, I'm learning something new. So he'll get up and just try to just play more so than actually just lay there and go back to sleep. So it's interesting, but it's working. But hopefully, we got through 10 days. And so today I feel like is um the next chunk, right? Uh and code Modion, hello. Um but yeah, we got through the first 10 days. I feel like I'm kind of dividing that up in tens now, probably, and then once I get to 25, I'm going to also celebrate. So day 10 we did. So I'm trying to go for another 10 days, and then, you know, by that point I'll probably try to, like I said, benchmark at 25. Then I'll be, I'll know I'm 25% of the way through. So just trying to keep myself motivated and going, because it can be hard when it's early on in the time frame. Like if I was doing just 30 days, I would be a third of the way through. But 10 out of 100 still feels small. So I'm trying not to think of it like the big mountain and just go one day at a time, or go in these small gaps until I start to hit a stride. So yeah. um I also have been working on this our AI ML hub, and I'm just thinking about how I'm going to launch it. Oh, I don't have Notion open, but I'm excited to share a resource. I think that's like my biggest outcome, um, you know, as far as creating content for others. just from the first 10 days. It's something that's small, but it's going to grow into something way bigger. And it also is something like very reflective of where I am in the process right now. So I think that I look forward to seeing how, because I like, making helpful, useful educational materials. So I'm kind of excited to see how it will feel once I am at a point where maybe I want to make more technical content around the AI and ML concepts. Right now, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew. And I'm also teaching and working on, some of some languages that I'm familiar with, but also learning some new tools for a couple of programs as well right now. So I don't want to bite off more than I can chew as far as being like, yeah, and then I want to like write a technical blog about, I don't know, NLP or something like that. But that is something that I'm working my way up to. So this is my first contribution into the AI ML space. First personal contribution, I'll say. Besides my live streams where I am just on public display for all to see. So yeah. Now, but I am going to be making some technical stuff. So the first series I want to do is a Git and GitHub series because that's very important. And I've been doing a lot of stuff with open source and teaching a lot lately in around that topic. And I'm also going to do a talk next month for a Girl Develop It career exploration event. We have like a lot of different speakers talking about different topics. The one I'm going to do is leveraging Git and GitHub as your technical portfolio. So I'm going to work on that. And that talk is on June 7th. So as I'm working on that talk, I'm going to be working on my actual series on YouTube. So that way I'll have the resources and everything all created by the time I have the talk. So we shall see how it goes. But yeah, so that's how I'm thinking about things, because I feel like I would say this, because I don't know if I said this at this point. The most important thing that I am trying to do right now is one thing that I did not do the first go around that I regret, which is when I was first getting into software development and I feel like I was doing a lot of things right. The one thing that I really, I'm going to say like just was purely slept on was developing my online, brand, as we really always refer to it now, like personal brand, because it was still kind of early on at that time, like around the time people first started taking coding boot camps and stuff like that. So a lot has changed since then, or a lot has, developed since then. So I found that I got to a point in my career where I had a very great local reputation, regional reputation, because I was a teacher, I was an event organizer, conference leader, and things like that. So I was I was establishing, like, I guess you could say, my reputation within, the local space or whatever. But then when I started wanting to apply to conferences that, bigger conferences and things like that, basically stuff that happens outside of my city, I found that that's where I was lacking because, I started writing blogs early on, but I fell off from that and I never really prioritized it. And yeah, it just, the years kind of start slipping away, and I overthought a lot of it too early on, especially from the video creation side, because I'm a teacher and my strength is in, if I know my material and I have my material prepared, I don't need a script, right? Like, you don't teach from a script. You can teach from an outline and a lesson plan, but you don't teach from a script. And when I wanted to start doing videos, that kind of overwhelms me, that whole scripting process and doing all the editing and everything, to the point where I would just like never end up finishing anything that, like, any of those video projects. So yeah, so at this point, I figured out that one thing I can do is leverage what is working for me right now, because part of my inspiration to getting into live streaming was because I knew like I wanted to have more of like a YouTube channel and like actual video content, start building my courses and things like that. So I did feel like live streaming was gonna get me into that, but I think back at that time I wasn't thinking about how I literally could just run live classes, you know? So this time around, the most important thing to me that I don't skip out on is actually, you know, writing my own content and kind of building my like building in public online so that um you know, it's a lot easier to to go after different opportunities. And also I want to get into a top tier research program, honestly. So my thing about that is, you know, when it comes to making sure that I can be somebody that stands out, I'm doing I'm trying to cover all the different areas because there's a lot to it, you know. Some, especially for very competitive opportunities, I think, and that's not just school, that's work, that's a lot of things that I've experienced when it comes to competitive opportunities. Yeah, it you can prepare yourself for a lot of the things that you want to do. You just have to plan and you know, kind of cover your bases. So I hope that that part can be evident in how you see me going through this process because um, as I am doing all these different shows and kind of crafting this overarching like I guess like career development materials, I feel like I'm trying to show as much as possible. Like I'm trying to put my money where my mouth is because a lot of the things that I do recommend or you know try to help people figure out or think, you know, harp on when it comes to a tech journey is based off of my experience as well. It's based off things I did right, things I did wrong, things that I didn't even realize were going to actually make such a huge difference, but I'm glad that they did. So I don't know, I have been talking about that lately because I feel like in the past I always talked more about the technical side of things. Like, yeah, I'll teach you how to build, you know, write JavaScript or whatever. But it was way more than just the code part of things that actually helped me. So I just went off on a whole little tangent, but I haven't. I'm trying to be open about what this process is for me, so other people can understand and see, you know, where I'm coming from because everybody's different, right? Especially with live streaming, like we have all these different live coders, we have a great community, but we all do different things, you know. Some people are building projects, some people are trying to, you know, some people are developer advocates for their company. They're trying to advocate for specific tools and kind of, you know, help support the developer community. Some people are learning to code for the first time. Some people are just fooling around, you know, and some people are teaching full-fledged programs. So I do enjoy this live space, and I think that because I found myself overthinking the whole like creating my personal technical content in the past, I'm leaning into the whole live streaming aspect um and going from there. So live podcasts, which then, as you can see, I'm still working on publishing the episodes, but because I went live on those shows, like the video podcasts are fine, like and that's really what I was trying to establish for each of the projects that I'm working on right now. So there's still a lot more to do, definitely, but at least I've gotten, what is it, it's May. Let's just do a quick process check. It's May, and where's my YouTube? I'm trying to see how many episodes did we do so far, or I could go to Twitch because Twitch has all the live ones, right? Actually, to be quite honest, I think right now Twitch is the only place you can see every show. Hold on, I don't want to. Oh, it's muted. Okay, I think Twitch is the only place you can see every show. Um, for the podcast series. That's been Thursdays. I started in March, I think, though. So I'm trying to see how many. This is eight different episodes because I just did an episode earlier today. So this is eight different episodes. Starting four shows. Most of these have been like on my mind for years, but I just never really got into a flow to get it going. So now all of a sudden just going with a live model for me is like actually making this kind of stuff possible to fit in. And then I'm using the other time I have to um, get better at the more produced side of things. So I'm excited about that. I don't know. It's been 10 days, right? So although I don't exactly, I feel like I could be doing a little bit better maybe with my pacing, but I don't think that I should, let that discourage me because it's been a lot. I've been doing a lot. So I know I kind of, I'm one of those people. Some people might be like this too. I'm one of those people where it's like, I'm always trying to get to the next goal, and um, I, I try to push myself, and I think I do not give myself a lot of credit sometimes when there is so much that is being done. So it's good to look back and see, and I'm excited about this. So since it's two episodes for each show, that means that we're officially 2 months in. So, and I plan on going all year with the podcasts. So, I'm looking forward to building out like all of these shows actually all stitched together into kind of like one narrative. So that's what I'm working on for y'all right now. So, anyways, let's go. Um, I'm gonna probably do. Oh, I should do my log first. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt. And that's hilarious because I almost forgot about it that fast. And I'm pretty sure 10 is the most logs I did in 2021. Let's look. I did not mean to leave my door open, but hopefully that's gonna be okay. 100 days. Uh, 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 10. Okay, let me see. 2021. Oh no, that's 2022. Okay, hold on. I'm like, I know it was more than that. Yeah. 10 is the most logs that I've done. So today is my day 11 day 11 log. So at least I have gotten further along in that respect. So I'm gonna celebrate that. Okay. I've been trying to be, better because I kind of fell off with my planning and stuff, and that is not good. It's really difficult. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, it's really difficult for me to manage because I want to be doing like 25,000 things. Um, and it's only so much of that I can like realistically give up and still be fulfilled in life, right? I'm always going to be a busybody. So, planning is very important to just making it possible for me to do all the stuff I like to do. Um, but it can be hard to prioritize it. To me, I start prioritizing it the most whenever I start feeling like the pain of my, lack of organization. Some people are like, "Oh my god, you live on the calendar." Like, I'm like, I swear I'm not as anal as it seems about the whole planning thing. Like, I wish I could just be going with the flow, but that's not how it worked for me. Like, I gotta have stuff written down. I gotta have stuff on the calendar. I have to have stuff organized. Otherwise, I get, I can't, I'll be all over the place. And then nothing gets done. And then I'm sitting here feeling some type of way because nothing is getting done. And it's like, it's a cycle once you kind of get in that flow. So I am really trying to get better with just planning more, getting back to planning. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So I guess the only thing I really want to say is today. And then yesterday, what did I say from this one? Um, Image classification example. Yesterday, what was I reading about? Let's look at my notes. Oh, about how image recognizers can be applied to other data. I kept saying this was Senate, but this was House. Wait, that was Senate. This was House. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Oh my goodness. Day 11. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's do. Well, let me save that. Oops. Save. Okay. All right, I can make that a little lot louder. Okay, I can close this now. So, yeah, this isn't too much, but doing the review will be interesting. just keep going. I tried to collapse these sections I was done with. I gotta do it again. Yeah, I gotta do it again. Deep learning is for everyone. Neural networks. What we are. How to learn. So this is what I was reading about yesterday. Using image recognizers for non-image data. So, oops, sorry. Different use cases for image recognizers besides, like, the traditional actual photos. So basically, the idea was that if you can represent your data in some type of an image format, like if you can translate your data over to some type of image format, and generally speaking, if you can notice a difference in the visuals, how the data is visualized, then, well, in regards to whatever you want to train, but if you can notice a difference in those images, like you're able to see, yeah, when an image looks like this, that's one classification, and then when it looks another way, it's a different classification. Then that's a good opportunity to try and use image recognizers or some tooling that is designed more for image recognizers, in order to see if you can achieve some good outcomes on that particular model. So that was interesting to me. I hadn't really thought about it like that. But I'm excited because I feel like a lot of the things I've been learning, even so far, is opening my mind a lot more, because I feel like the breadth of my knowledge is still pretty narrow. And so there's specific things around my interest level that I'm familiar with, but it's a lot of different areas and topics in machine learning I never even learned about or got into before. And so I'm just taking it all in. And every time I read another paper or I see, different call outs like this where they talk about how you could do something like, um, trans translate your data into some type of image format, and train that way. I'm like, oh, that gives me even more things that I could think about trying. So um, that was a really interesting read. And now I'm at the point where I have this jargon recap, which I was I wrote down all the words yesterday, and I was thinking about just maybe trying to come up with my own definition of them, but they have like a little brief overview here. And I did start reading through this. This is basically a high level summary of all the concepts they've been going over so far. So it's kind of like they're like, if you can read this and follow along, then that's pretty good on how that's a pretty good foundation on moving into the later material. So I think a lot of these things are that I've already been familiar with, but it was a little bit more of a deep dive into stuff like fine tuning, and what else is something that's a little bit newer for me. Um, that review of like neural networks and deep learning, that was helpful. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna move from here. So they did something here. They have like all of the keywords or the key terms. And it's basically like they did a full summary covering all the different key terms. I thought this could be a good thing to try to do with these different words that they gave. So write my own summary and make sure I include each term. Although this list is a little bit shorter than the list of terms that's in this review section, so I might just expand my list. But I thought that would be a good exercise to try as a part of review. So this would show that this is a since I see the URLs dot, I can tell that's a data set that's built into the FastAI library. And then we saw data loaders before, but before they were image loaders. This is segmentation loaders. So segmentation is to recognize the content of every individual pixel in an image. So they did mention that there's more types of data loaders besides image. So that's another example. And then path is gonna be where the files or the data lives after it's downloaded and extracted. I don't think I've seen the BS property or parameter. You have F name, so that's the file names. Then you have this is the function for labeling. I don't think I've seen this one before, but yeah, so it's pretty similar to how the image data loader was set up, but obviously there's some things here that's specific to the segmentation type. Like I can see this BS probably is I don't know why I feel like base segmentation or something like that. I don't know what that stands for, but we'll see. But I don't know. I like to, when I see new code, I like to try to understand it before and see how on par I am with the actual explanation. Then this is the learner with the data loaders and the architecture that you want to use. And then fine tune. The thing I learned about the fine tune method for FastAI library is that they have a fit method and a fine tune. Fit, it was like fit lets you tune the data set, but fine tune actually comes with some default parameters. I think that's what it is. So yeah, I said fine tune versus fit in FastAI. For fine tune, FastAI will do two things. It will use one epoch to fit your model, the pre-trained model, to a data set. And then the second thing it will do is use the number of epochs that you specify um, to train the data. But if you just do fit, it looks at all the images based off the number of epochs, but you can lose some of the pre-trained capabilities if you're using a pre-trained model. So that's why they were using this fine-tune instead. Oh, they didn't even do the deep dive, so that's good. I'm glad I did it for myself. Um, yeah, because like they said, it's almost identical. And anything that is different, I'm assuming that is coming from that's specific to the segmentation data loader. Although we may be doing a deep dive into segmentation models. Oh, they are going to do segmentation models, so that's good to know. Like, that's something I've never worked on too much because I never did a lot of I've done image recognition like examples, but I've never really gotten into like image recognition and then like CNNs and the different things that you can do with images because I like NLP. But it's so that kind of opened my mind because I feel like I shouldn't be limiting myself to just because this is known for a specific use case, I should not explore working with it. So now I'm thinking about ways that some of the data that I could be interested in, if it could be visualized, and maybe that's something that, to explore and dig into. Yeah, merge with NLP. That's what I'm thinking. Computer vision scans of old texts. I mean, there's even there is, I don't know, there's probably some like simple overlaps that are obvious to me, and then there's probably so many things I never even thought about. Have a project of identifying handwriting, yeah. Um, but I'm even looking more for something that's not traditionally, like, even handwriting is like a traditional image recognition, but I want to explore I want to explore more of that and then see what kind of ideas I can come up with. Because and like reinforcement learning, I don't do a lot of I didn't do a lot of reinforcement learning, so that's another area I want to just at least explore. Emojis in the text usage. I'll have to look and see what kind of examples are out there. But also, welcome in, Preacher. How's it going? Learn, show results. Oh, and then I learned about the learn. um, this one says show result. Oh, show results is specific to this because that's not really classification, right? That's more of a regression type of example. But when we did learn and wanted to show the metrics for the um for the image recognizer, where is it? Fine tune. How did we define the metric before? Oh, They did it differently before. So I guess instead of showing the results for the classification, it did the learner. We were setting the metrics on the learner. This is what I'm looking at. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Um, was trying to give myself some credit for what I have done so far, and let's go for another 10 days and then check in again. That's kind of how I feel right now. Um, how our image recognizer works. One thing I won't ever feel bad for is taking my time with material, because I don't want to I don't want to be stagnant, but I don't like the idea of just skipping over stuff, because it's the little incremental things that actually really contributes to the long-term learning. Missing out on all the little things, next thing you know, you read a whole chapter, you don't even know when you got lost, how you got lost, and it's just, nah, I'm good. um I'm gonna take my time and make sure I understand what I'm doing, because it's important. And I think they said in the beginning, like, if you understand, I want to see what percentage did they say we should understand. I'm pretty sure there was something about that. This is the wrong place to be. Doing step snippets and then doing other sub challenges. Yeah, I'm thinking about I have to break it up anyways mentally. I have to break it up, because that's what I was saying earlier. I'm like, I'm still so early on in the 100 days, and I've also never finished my 100 days consecutively. It's just the way my brain works. Like, I don't like staring at a mountain. You know what I mean? Like, if it looks like it's just such a huge hump, that can be a lot, or it can be discouraging, I guess I'll say. So right now, instead of looking at it like, oh, counting one day at a time, it's like, okay, I'm done with 10 days. Now let's do another 10 days. And then by the time I get to about 20, probably gonna need to celebrate at 25 as well, because then I'll be like, okay, now I'm 25% of the way there. I'm, a quarter of the way there. And then I'll probably still feel the need to like do 10 days up until 50. And then maybe by the time I get to 50 and I've been consistent, then it'll feel more like, okay, now we go, another month and then another month. I have to think about it that way. Otherwise, it's very daunting when I'm super tired and I don't want to do anything. I just want to go to sleep, and I'm like, it's only day 9. I got to do this for how many more days? Breakdown when I haven't done is do some freestyle coding, and then I have my weekly and monthly regular challenges. Yeah, those are good. I think that it was interesting because I always break it down mentally, just like for pacing and progress, how many days it has been. But I wasn't really thinking about my material on a cycle like that. So that's why I found like that was really helpful when you brought it up, because it's like, yeah, I wasn't correlating those two. Um okay, so let's go to this is teacher is a score for me. It's probably in the first lesson. Lesson 1. Dang, it's probably in the actual It's probably in the actual video. That's okay. I can't remember how he definitely said a percentage. Like if you understand 70%. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Anyways, okay. I'm not finding it, so we might as well not go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I was comparing this is not the section. I was comparing this here, but that's not the same thing. I realized this line was um creating the learner, but I don't know if I did anything. We did learn dot fine tune, and oh, I think when you called fine tune, the metrics um display automatically based off of whichever option you want when you define it here. But then when you go back to where I was, okay, so yeah, this was just setting up. They set up the learner, but they did not actually set up any metrics for it. It probably had loss, training loss, validation loss. So now we talk about NLP, of course, of course, of course. I also watched this panel today. It was about generative AI in startups. It was pretty interesting. Um it was a lot going on at the moment, so I feel like I didn't get as much out of it as I would have liked to because I was trying to like it was a live event, so I had to catch it when it was going on. But I'm hoping they send a recording because I have my own personal ideas as far as something that I'm working on, but so I do try to pay attention to like the more startup side of it, upstarts and open source, launching open source projects and stuff like that. And it's kind of interesting too because I'm at this weird point where I'm thinking like, as much as I am interested in working for an AI company, I also think that I should be working on my own AI idea, which is something I have been working on even before this whole like new wave happened. So, and my biggest concern is because of like having any type of non-compete with your company, especially in this startup phase where a lot of the AI and machine learning companies are still new. They're going to be more I should say maybe like cautious of the IP. And I've definitely worked at companies where I had some type of like certain companies have certain type of language where it's like, okay, well, if you're working on something that is basically in competition with the same type of product that they're doing, then you may not, it restricts like what kind of things you can work on, or even sometimes gets kind of into the weeds about who owns the the IP that you've been developing, even if you have been developing it in your own time. So, yeah, that's my hesitation right now in joining a company, even though there are some amazing companies out there, and I would love to get that that type of experience, but I'm kind of hesitant on it right now. I don't know. As some places will go as far as to claim usage. Yeah, yeah. Some places will claim usage of your GitHub as their IP. Like, no. And it's, it's different depending on where you go, and but I totally understand, but I feel like um in the past I didn't have to worry about it as much, just because um even when I did work on something that was like, I never had an issue where even when I worked on like a new like platform or something like that, some type of, um backed startup or acquired startup, I didn't have those type of issues in my contract, or but I know that it's out there, and I imagine it, I could be wrong, but I imagine it to be more prevalent in the space that I'm trying to go into in particular. So, but the one thing I will say about that is actually, um, it's such thing as saying no to opportunities. So I might still put myself out there for some things that I have been looking at that I'm interested in, and then you know, you can kind of figure out if you can figure out if they have a non-compete, and if so, what is like required as a part of it, before taking the job offer fully or whatever. So we shall see, we shall see. And this is our sentiment analysis example. So this is kind of nice because in this first lesson of the book, we got an image classifier, an image segmentation model, and this is sentiment analysis. So having those basic examples already set up, that gives me actually 3 opportunities to build a small project. So I can take those examples and apply them to something more unique to myself. So I like that. So let's see. Um, I'm gonna write myself a note. Let's see, 3 projects or chapter 1 projects. So you got the image classifier. And for me, I said I wanted to see if I can do YouTuber versus streamer. As an image classifier example, just something simple. Um, and then the next one was image segmentation. So object detection, basically. What can I do for? I don't know yet, but I'll do something for object detection because I haven't really done anything with object detection before. And then the last one was sentiment analysis. So we do have a sentiment analysis. We as in me and y'all vicariously are living through me. I guess I don't know, but I did write a sentiment analysis. Where is my Notion? A sentiment analysis project that I wanted to work on for a long time. That's the mood bot. So that would be sentiment analysis for our stream chat. And then if you have the sentiment analysis for the chat, deploy the model, integrate with the Twitch API, and then have an overlay that either like changes colors or something, or have something in my set that changes color based off of the mood of the chat. That's the sentiment analysis project. So, that's two smaller and one bigger project, I would say, as far as what I'm interested in. And in chapter 2, they're going to do the what do they call it? That's the deployment. That's the training, and like that's the deployment chapter. So I'm waiting till I get into deployment to actually start working on these smaller projects. Sentiment analysis, yeah, I'm that's something that was it's kind of common, right? Like when I was first learning about NLP, sentiment analysis was like one of the big use cases at the time, like this whole IMDb movie data set. Um, but let's see, this is one, two, three, four, 5 lines of code to get all the way to prediction. So this is beautiful to me, honestly. This is amazing to me because it's just occurring to me like how much code I still would have had to write like 5 years ago to do the same thing, and probably less efficiently. So now I'm extra excited because those two small ones are easy. It's just and then it gives me opportunity to explore because it's pretty straightforward as far as um adapting the example to what I'm interested in training for. But the sentiment analysis one is not just the model, right? It's actually using the model in real time, and that is something that I have that I really want to do. So that'll be my first like mini project, I guess you could say. I might I have I had I think I have the potential to make some like streaming tools, more like streaming interaction tools and stuff like that. So I'm still on the fence about like open sourcing some ideas, but the sentiment analysis one would be a good example of that. Oh, that's the batch size. It's gonna be a little bit different though. Well, I guess it's not. I might have to do something to get it to be a little bit more aware of like more, Twitch sentiment, because it can be slightly different than something like movie database, but um it still would be good to work on. That'll be a good project. Okay. So yeah, see, it says write your own mini movie review or copy one from the internet and you can see what this model thinks about it. I'm not practicing that, or I'm not running this just because, yeah, the whole thing about the amount of time it takes to train. You okay, honey? Yeah, you okay? Oh man, hold on. All right. Oh, my break probably should have been started a long time ago. I'm just gonna skip the break though, honestly. Okay, I don't know. Maybe this example won't take as long. Let's just connect and let's just see because technically it is a different example. Okay, baby. It is technically a different example. So I have to run this one. Here, you want me to turn Gracie on? I'm just gonna start it training and see. um, Hopefully it doesn't take as long. Maybe I'll actually get to use it. Why are you doing that? That's not what you think it is. I know, right? Well, I can run this one and then I can go because it should wait for the first one to finish running, right? So I can run that one and then let's go to. I wanted to look at the cinnamon analysis, right? No, this is an NLP. Yes. Wait, is this the one I'm looking for? Yeah. Stop it, baby. Here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the one I need to run. All right. So while that's happening, if you hit a CUDA out of memory error after running this cell, click on the menu kernel, then restart. So that executing the cell above, copy and paste the following code. Stop. Oh, that's nice. Doc, learn dot predict. Let's see what's happening. It is training, but this run is already at 25%. It's going way faster than the other one was, so I might actually get to see this one work. Did I go too far? Yeah, okay. What's up? Oh, it's running. No, it's not. Okay, that's not bad though. It's making some progress. Um, so for tabular data, you can also have tabular models. So predict one column based on some of the other columns. Salary is the output, since that's Y. And then, so cat names, I'm assuming categories. They're put in work class, education. These should be columns in the table. Continuous. Okay, so these are, I would say those are what, classification categories versus the regression categories. Yeah. Okay. Um, Crocs. Oh, okay. There's no pre-trained model. Hmm. So this is an example to use fit over the fine tune, because fine tune pretty much, if you're using a pre-trained model with fast AI, then you want to use fine tune instead of using fit, so you won't lose any of um the feature layers that are already kind of baked into the pre-trained model. This is using a recommendation system. I don't know what kind of recommendation system to work on, but that's still a good project to try. At least do it one example. I'll go back and write the other topics down. Here. So I guess since the like I see this one epoch by itself, I feel like, and then You have the series of like 10. The way I'm reading that is when you use the fine tune model, like I said, if you use fine tune, then it should do one round of training to fit the, to like better fit the model, or fit the pre-trained model to your data set, and then it runs your epochs. So it says 10. So this is 11 runs, but these are the 10 that you asked for, and then this is the one bonus run that it does for you. So that makes a little bit more sense now if I go back and look at how this is training. I know some of this is downloads too, but it makes it easier to kind of understand what kind of output. So I guess this is gonna be just that first run. Food for models. Inside bar. Another order matters. Leave that one open. Leave that one open. What about this? Baby, don't nobody want no freaking crumpled up paper ASMR. Ugh. That's okay. We're going to bed soon. Put you right back to sleep, little baby. What are you doing? Stop. All right. So, I'm really not as far along as I want to be, but realistically, I want to put baby boy back to bed. And I do have to acknowledge the fact that I hardly ever look at my notes throughout the day, so I'm not quite there yet on the review side of things. So I'm gonna push for doing that a little bit more tomorrow. Um, so throughout the day, maybe actually spending some time to study on my notes, since I have a little bit more flexibility that way. And then I know I'm like supposed to go out for an event tomorrow, so I still have to not, skip my stream and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. I might try to get my stream in early just so that I won't feel the pressure to rush back, because I'm going to like a roller skating event with one of my pro fights. So yeah, I don't want to be like, oh no, I have to like rush home just to make sure I get my stream in and stuff. So I might try to do my stream a little bit earlier tomorrow. We'll see. But either way, I will be here. So I do appreciate everybody for stopping in. And we are 10 days down, another 10 days to go. And then, we can check in again. So I'm excited, not just for myself, but everybody else who's working on this journey right now. If you're like me and you put a lot of pressure on yourself, definitely take the time to kind of reflect on what you have accomplished so far. Even in 10 days, I'm trying to let myself realize, like, even in 10 days, I've done a lot, and I've done more than I have been doing for a very long time. So it's just the beginning. I'm excited. So I'll go ahead and call it a wrap now, and I will see y'all tomorrow.